Today I am going to teach you triangles of neck. Triangles of neck are divided into two main divisions, anterior division and posterior division. Anteriorly it is divided into four main divisions and posteriorly it is divided into two divisions. This is a diagram which shows different triangles. ट्रायंगल्स को डिस्कस करने से पहले हम एक इम्पॉर्टेंट पॉइंट डिस्कस कर लेते हैं इसमें. This is a box which shows posterior triangle and this is anterior triangle. This is a quadrilateral space. The quadrilateral space is divided by the sternocleidomastoid muscle which separates anterior triangle from posterior triangle. This is mastoid process. This is lower border of mandible. This is angle of mandible. This is mandibular symphysis. And this is mylohyoid muscle. Further, anterior division is divided into four subdivisions. First of all, we see submandibular triangle which is present right here. So, if we see the superior end of the submandibular triangle, look, this is mandible and lower border of mandible. So, the superiorly the lower border of mandible is present and anteriorly the anterior belly of digastric muscle. And if we talk about posteriorly in submandibular triangle, the digastric muscle, posterior belly of digastric muscle is present. Look right here. This is submandibular triangle. Now if we talk about submental triangle is also called as median triangle. It is divided into two parts. Look. Now the apex, which is the pointed end, is at the lower border of mandible or inferior border of mandible, and the base of submental triangle is at the level of hyoid bone. Next, carotid triangle, which is present right here, and the posterior belly of digastric muscle or stylohyoid muscle is present at the superior border of, or we can say superiorly present in the carotid triangle. And if we talk about anterior division of the carotid triangle, then at anterior inferiorly, then we can see the superior belly of omohyoid muscle is present. Look, the superior belly of omohyoid muscle is present. And if we're talking about posteriorly, then the sternocleidomastoid muscle, which is present right here, is present at the posterior border of, or we can say posteriorly present at in the carotid triangle. Next we have muscular triangle, which is present right here. In the muscular triangle, the superior border is attached with the hyoid bone, or we can say the superior border forms hyoid bone, or the base is attached with the sternum. Look, the base is attached with the sternum and the upper border is attached with the hyoid bone. The posterior border is made up of the omohyoid muscle, and laterally the sternocleidomastoid muscle is present in the muscular triangle. Next we have digastric triangle. Digastric is not a triangle, basically a muscle which consists of anterior belly and posterior belly. So if we're talking about its relations, then anteriorly we have anterior belly of digastric muscle and posteriorly we have posterior belly of digastric muscle. As we discussed the triangles of anterior division, So the two main points which are common in all these triangles are the roof is made up of platysma, skin and fascia. However, the floor is made up of mylohyoid muscle or the muscle which is present nearby to it. Like if we're talking about submandibular triangle or submental triangle, the stylohyoid muscle is present or mylohyoid muscle is present nearby. But if we're talking about muscular triangle or carotid triangle, the omohyoid muscle is present. Look, the omohyoid muscle, superior value of omohyoid muscle is present at the side of muscular triangle. Now, we are talking about posterior division. It is further divided into occipital triangle and supraclavicular triangle. The occipital triangle is present in this area and supraclavicular triangle is present right here. As the name shows, supraclavicular, it is related to clavicle or superiorly at the clavicle. Look, this is the upper border of clavicle and this is sternum. Now we can say, if we're talking about occipital triangle, the trapezius muscle is surrounded by occipital triangle, and if we're talking about its base, then it is attached with the sternum or gives support to sternum. And right here, the lateral border of sternocleidomastoid muscle is present, which separates anterior triangle from posterior triangle. In green, there is anterior triangle, and in orange, there is posterior triangle. Posterior division, which is subdivided into two main triangles. Okay, and if we're talking about supraclavicular triangle, then look, this also gives base or support to sternum. And hereafter, if we're talking about lateral border, its lateral border, then laterally it is it relates with the sternocleidomastoid muscle. This is full diagram. This is all about today's lecture. Now it's a time to solve quiz. MCQ is, which muscles separate anterior triangle from posterior triangle? Option A, mylohyoid, option B, omohyoid, and option C, sternocleidomastoid. I am not telling you answer right now, but you have to mention the answer in the comment section. If you have any question,